The thing about a newspaper columnist is that the subject he or she writes about, politics, economics, sports, is just the opportunity to share their philosophy, their insights into the meaning and significance of life. Personally, I think it's unfortunate that the columnist's role does not translate well into television. Our best and most enduring local columnist, Paul Doherty, writes for the Cincinnati Enquirer and is usually, but not always, found in the sports pages. Like any columnist you read regularly over the years, the reader learns a lot about their personal life. Paul has been amazingly transparent and vulnerable, especially when he has written about his daughter, Gillian. And on Tuesday, Paul will release his newest book, An Uncomplicated Life, a father's memoir of a remarkable daughter. I am now joined by Paul Doherty, father, Enquirer columnist, author, and Gillian Doherty, Paul's daughter, fiance of Ryan, and also the manager of the basketball program at NKU, right?
Yes.
Did I get all that right? Good.
Yeah.
Welcome to Newsmakers. It's really good. It's really good to have both of you here. Paul, Gillian was born on October the 17th, 1989, and you wrote, "It was the last bad day," because you found out that Gillian has Downs. But you know, hindsight's a wonderful thing. How long was it, though, before you could have written that sentence?
Actually, probably after just a couple of days, Dan. You grieve a little bit, you cry a little bit, and then you kind of strap your boots on and get to work. She was our daughter, and we were going to make Gillian the best Gillian she could be, and we set about doing that almost as soon as humanly possible.
Okay. Gillian, I want to start out with you. I want to show you a photograph that was taken by the Enquirer, and it shows you and Ryan at graduation a couple of years ago, I think 2013, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and look at you. I think you're probably looking at your parents, and I think that reveals something about your personality. You're smiling, you're letting them know something. So, how would you describe yourself? When you think about who Gillian is, your dad's written this whole book, but if you had to explain yourself to somebody, what would you say?
I would say myself is it's really fun. And I kind of feel happy that I graduate, but I still miss my friends and miss my parents. They're mostly my brother, so.
So family's really important to you?
Yeah.
Parents and brother?
Yeah, and even my fiance too.
Yeah, I would
even
suspect.
him too, yeah.
Yeah. And so I think that comes through in a lot of your father's columns and you know, a lot of what he has written, and in the book. You know, Paul, you've when you started to think about writing columns and now a book about your daughter and the challenges that your family and have flipped into opportunities. Before you wrote that first time about Gillian, did you talk with your wife? What did you have to think about before you started writing publicly or speaking publicly?
I think the first thing I wrote about Gillian publicly was in Cincinnati Magazine.
Yeah.
And it was probably 2 or 3 months after she was born. And the only reason I did that was the editor at the time, Laura Pulfer, had asked me, would you consider writing about Gillian? It had never occurred to me. And even with the book, Dan, it didn't occur to me that she was a book. I just had so many people telling me that she was that I went ahead and did it. There's kind of a fine line with that. I love writing about Gillian, and I've also written about Kelly, my son, but you don't want to be exploitive. You
Right.
don't want to overdo it. You don't. So I've picked my spots over the years. And most of my memories are because of my wife. She remembers everything. Gillian remembers just about everything. I remember next to nothing. So without their
So you're
help,
not the
nothing
historian.
would have gotten written. No, my memory, I can't remember where I put my keys in the morning. So no, their memories have greatly aided and abetted anything I've ever written about her. So we try to pick our spots. A couple of times a year, or big events. If Gillian graduates from high school, or she graduates from NKU, or she gets engaged, then I'll write about her in the paper. But I'm really careful, conscious about not overdoing it.
Mm-hmm. Gillian, you are engaged now. You're engaged to Ryan, and one of the great columns that has always stuck in my memory is the column your father wrote about your engagement, you and Ryan, and how Ryan asked him if he could propose to you before he proposed. Tell me about Ryan. How did you meet? Who is he? What kind of guy is he? And what's he do?
Actually, he's also go down on NKU as well. He's the head manager for baseball, and he works at Kroger's. We live right now. We live in Harper's Point. So his job is closer, so he could walk to work every morning.
So do the Krogers across the street there?
Yes.
In Harper's Point? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that's not close to where you live, right? You're really out on your own?
Yeah. I moved out a couple days ago.
A couple years ago.
A couple years, and I've been with Ryan about 10 years. So.
That's right.
Did you meet in school?
We meet soccer. We used to play top soccer. His dad was coach.
Ah, okay. So sports plays another role here.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So,
Yeah.
Paul, you've written about some of the challenges of raising a child with Downs, particularly when it comes to some of the institutions in our society, say schools, and the challenges of helping the professionals, the teachers, really understand what the potential is, what their responsibility is.
Right.
Talk about that a bit. What did you learn from all of that? What could you pass on to somebody?
Carrie and I, my wife and I, used to consider ourselves as kind of the latter-day Daniel Boones. Dan, you kind of run up against old ways, old theories, ways of looking at things, doing things. As with any institution in life, I think it takes a while to evolve, to change. We like to think that we did a lot of work on Gillian's behalf that now helps other parents of kids with disabilities maybe have an easier path through the school system. It was basically a matter of us making sure that they obeyed the law. Some were terrific. Gillian's had some terrific teachers. I think most were very good. There were others that were just kind of resistant over the years, and ultimately you tell them, whether you like it or not, this is the law, and this is the education to which she is entitled. And I've always said that the key to understanding Gillian, or any person with a disability, is to see them and not look at them. A big difference. Seeing them requires participation, it's active. Looking at them is not. See them for who they are. Don't look at them and judge them by what they look like. And once you get past that hurdle, and people who've gotten to know Gillian, who've taken the time to know her, figure out that they get as much from the transaction as she does. But getting to that point with some people has been difficult.
Did you have some favorite teachers growing up?
Well, I have one favorite teacher that I know. One of the players who used to play with us, his uncle, I used to do golf class.
Oh.
And I think I forgot his name. It was Charlie's uncle, and he's one of the best teachers I ever had.
How about Mrs. Krosky?
And her too.
Nancy Krosky deserves special mention. She was your fourth grade teacher, and to this day, she and Gillian are friends.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes those bonds, you just stay with a teacher, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I still have friendships with some of my particularly high school teachers who made a lot of difference, and some college teachers.
And I have actually I have two favorite teachers in high school. One is Mrs. Krosky is a fourth grade teacher. I like in high school. I like it's my mom. I used to have gym class with my mom. I had to have my brother because my mom is also a really tough and really smart teacher that I know.
Ah, okay.
She taught at Loveland High School.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your mom's right behind the cameras, isn't she? So you didn't just say that because she's right there. I'm sure you said that because she really is a really smart and really good teacher. Paul, why'd you write this book at this time? What, I mean, you've been writing columns. I've heard you speak. You know, why put it all together in this book?
Well, like I said before, Dan, people told me to. It never occurred to me that Gillian was special. She was just our daughter, you know. Everybody thinks their kids are special. You know, what's so special about her? But people told me to. I did it at this time because it was sort of an end of one cycle. The original intent was to get her through high school, write about her high school graduation. But with other duties and associated with the job at the paper, it takes longer and longer to write the book. You don't have a lot of concentrated time. So it ended up being, you know, we're gonna get to the point where she is out of college and living on her own. So that's how it evolved, and that's where we ended it when you move out.
And do you think it's part of your hope that other parents with a wide range of different kinds of children might pick this up?
No question.
And learn some things?
I'm not a philosopher. I'm not an expert on raising children. I was just an expert with a lot of help on raising mine. And I know that this will help parents of kids with disabilities. I hope that there are lessons in the book that are universal, that will apply to everybody who has a child, you know, which is most of us. So that's the hope. We'll see how it goes.
Gillian, you've mentioned a couple of times you have a brother.
Yeah.
Older brother, younger brother?
Older brother.
Older brother. And, you know, brothers and sisters can have all kinds of relationships.
Yeah, my brother and I are very close.
Are you?
Yeah, we sometimes a brother and sister was a little bit out of control, but I mean, okay.
Yeah, so you guys, the two of you are close.
Yeah.
And you still, does he live here in the area?
No, he used to go to Ohio State, but now he goes to New York City. So now he's just on his own.
Does he call you up, check in on you?
Sometimes he does. He did not talk to me for a while, so he just called me and say hi, say what's going on.
Good.
So
what are your plans right now? And I know one of those plans is you're going to be getting married, right?
Yeah.
So what are your plans? How do you look at the future?
I would say just look up for myself, including my fiance. When we get married, after that we are going our honeymoon. I just like just be me.
Just be you.
I just like everything about me, and to keep my dad keep laughing. So
you think you can keep him laughing?
No lack of self-confidence, Dan. You understand?
That's right. Well, we were talking before, just as we were before we got started, that you like to go to the Reds games.
Yes,
with
I do.
your dad. But some of the other games are more problematic. But you like the Reds games.
Yes.
Who do you particularly like on the Reds?
Mostly, I really like Scott Rowland.
He's not there anymore.
Well, he always been my player, but I know he's not there. But he's still my player on
You mentioned somebody before to me. You mentioned Joey Votto.
Yeah, he's still my guy.
Do you think Gillian's liking Joey Votto affects what you write about Joey Votto? Because I've read a lot about what you've read.
Not in the least, Dan. No, I like Joey Votto. It's always been pretty good to me.
Yeah, good, good. Well, congratulations on the new book.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck getting
Thank
with the wedding and the honeymoon and getting married. And it's good to be connected with the NKU basketball team because they're now in Division I.
Yeah.
And let's hope over the years they get better and better and end up in that first NCAA tournament, and you'll get to go with them.
Go.
That would be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, let's hope. Yeah.
Okay. So, want to hold up the book real quick?
Yes.
Just so people can see it. An Uncomplicated Life. And it's a father's memoir, but it's about you. So it's going to be available on Tuesday, both in bookstores and also
Online.
we think online. Paul doesn't seem to have any of the details worked out. So thank you.
I just wrote the book, I don't market it.